Hi, so this week I did my questions on how do I view those I teach. And so my first question that I came up with is what is my motivation to teach different people? And a follow-up question to that is why do I want to teach in the first place? I think a way to find your motivation of teaching different sorts of people is just learning why you want to teach. If it's just because you love the subject, it will be harder to most likely teach different types of kids. If it's just because you want to make an impact, you want to help people actually grow, learn, you're going to find it easier to find that different motivation to teach different types of students, because there's not just one type of student, of course. And no matter what your initial motivation to teach in the first place is, it's always important to learn to love all of your students. Of course, there's those hard students, those students that you want to give up on, but as you love them, you're able to teach them better. I actually had a companion on my mission who we did not get along at first, and she actually became one of my favorite companions. And one of the things that I did within our first transfer together was I prayed every morning, every personal study, that I would feel Christ's love for her. And it actually worked. Like I said, she's one of my favorite companions to this day, and we still talk all the time. We're really good friends. And of course, you don't implement the gospel into your teaching if you're teaching at a public school, but you can always pray for your students, especially if you don't have kids of your own. They kind of become your own kids, and so you do truly learn to love them. My second question is, how do I react if I have difficult students? One thing is that different children need different disciplines. So my husband and I, we have 2 cats, and they're currently our little children as we wait for our first child to arrive this December. And they are very different. Bartholomew, our younger one, he learns very easily and very quickly. He definitely is more trainable, doesn't want to get in trouble, while Bagheera, our other one, he kind of likes to push the limits. He likes to get up on the counters and see if we're watching. And we, of course, have to treat them differently because they respond to punishment different. Bartholomew doesn't like being put into his kennel, while Bagheera doesn't like having a collar with a bell put on him if he's been bad. So we need an understanding between teacher and student, and that will help students begin to respect you. And if they respect you, it is a little bit easier to teach those difficult students. And then if something does arise, you don't want to have empty threats. You don't want to tell a child that, hey, you're going to get a demerit or detention if you do this, and then not follow up with it. Then they'll just kind of abuse the system and see how far they can push you. The last question that I had is, how can I let those I teach impact my life? And I think it kind of goes back to the first question, a point there, is that you truly learn to love those that you teach. And as you learn to love them, you don't just teach them, but you learn from them. It's amazing how much you can learn from people that are half your age. Before my mission, I was actually a primary teacher, and those kids, they were the older class, so I was able to learn things from them, just a Christ-like love that you wouldn't learn from kids that are older, or just different things from them that you learn as you learn to love your students. So I do truly think that how we view those we teach, it's an important aspect to our life, and as we ask ourselves these questions, it will help us become better educators one day.